What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? And welcome back to another episode of Más que un podcast. This time around, it's just me and Pablo. Uncle John is not here. Unfortunately, he's sick. You know, sometimes it hits you a little bit harder when you're over 30. It's just me and Pablo. And yeah, let's just the boys. Let's talk. Let's get into the little into the I don't know how you say into the little dirty details of the matches.
You could say that. Yeah. It's sad not to have John here, mate. I'm sad. I'm gutted. You know, I'm gutted. I know the fans will be too, but he's sick, so we got to move on. Hey, Ignacio, we got to move on, mate. Feels like we can never get the three together, doesn't it? But they'll be back together soon.
I know. Unfortunately, it actually is harder than it seems. It's honestly very hard. We all always aim for Sundays, and it's like we always never make it. But yeah. Okay, so where do we start? We wanna talk about Atalanta because it seems at this point that's like a meaningless match. Actually,
yeah. I haven't got an awful lot to say on Atalanta, to be fair, and I think obviously, you know, we're straight off the back of that Alaves game. La Liga title race is back on now, mate. Really, you know, I think that's what people are talking about.
I think we have to jump into it ahead. I gotta say, that game against Alaves is one of those particular games where Barcelona either, you know, they do a Barcelona. They do the typical one where it's like, oh yeah, it's so typical for us to see Madrid, you know, lose points against Espanyol, against a rival we didn't see coming, and we just come out of nowhere and perform so bad, you know, lose 3 points at home. And I was expecting us actually to batter Alaves, but as soon as I saw Espanyol, you know, get the win against Real Madrid, I knew that up here in our head, the pressure was gonna ramp up immediately, and that was gonna give our players a little bit of stress, and you know that extra pressure that we always seems to come down for matches like this.
Yeah, I hear that. It wasn't a great game, mate. The one against Alaves, it really wasn't. I'll tell you what, Bull, like when I was watching it, I was thinking, shit, we're gonna do a Las Palmas, we're gonna do a Leganés. I don't know about you, but I think everyone agrees the vibes of that first half was like, how does this keep happening to us? And even though we've won, I think there's clearly something to be said for these games in La Liga against bottom half opposition, at Montjuic especially, but away as well, but especially at Montjuic. Even more so if it's in the middle of the day, but I think even in the evening games too, there's something that's not quite clicking where, I mean, today, for example, I'm sure Barca were up for the game today. After what happened to Real Madrid against Espanyol, there's no way the players weren't like, we got to win, we have to win, lads. I'm sure they were in the dressing room, more so than in the games against Leganés and Las Palmas that we dropped points on. That's probably a bit more relaxed because of the situation in the league. But this one, I'm sure they were up for it. But even still, I mean, that first half, I know the head injury to, Kochekny and
Gavi.
And Gavi, obviously, I think that broke up the spell of the game a little bit. But even still, like, we're just not creating like anything in these sorts of moments. And you could see the pattern playing out. I thought I was watching, I was thinking, we're getting frustrated. They're wasting time. We're buying into it. We're giving away silly free kicks. We're getting frustrated at every single move. And I was thinking, lads, you need to keep your heads, please, because I don't think we did that in the other games where teams were wasting time. I think we bought into it. We got frustrated. We got rushed, and then we didn't do what we needed to do. And credit to them in the second half, because I think Barca, especially like up until the Lewandowski goal, was so much better. I'll get into the more details of the subs and whatnot and why I think that was in a moment. But I think overall, I'm just really happy because I saw us slipping into the typical game that we've seen this season. And I'm really happy that the reaction at halftime meant that we didn't and that we got what is, for me, one of the most important 3 points of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I certainly believe that when we take a look at the context of the game, that certainly made it so Barcelona, like I said, had that extra pressure, made it a little more sluggish into the play. You know, whenever you have the ball, you have that extra touch, you have that extra pressure. It's a little more, the pass is heavier because you're like, okay, this pass means actually something because you're playing after Real Madrid, right? I actually always prefer to play beforehand, like being to open up the match day. I feel that's the best position actually, rather than to play afterwards. But in this sense, that's what we had here, and Barcelona certainly were the ones trailing, and we had to set the example and follow what Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid did in these match days. And I certainly do agree that I believe that the substitutions, should we get into it? I believe that Flick did the right substitutions at halftime, and I do like that because he understood what the game needed. I certainly feel that he has learned from let's say, previous instances like Leganes, like Las Palmas, where we needed that injection of something different. For me, good on Frenkie de Jong coming in. I think that Frenkie de Jong was very good against not at all, against Valencia. I think that was
Yeah.
one of the best performances of Frank de Jong this season so far. And I saw a lot of people in social media saying how he needed to rival Marc Casado for that position already. And for instances like this, when you know that the opposition are going to sit back and defending a low block, Frank de Jong just moves the ball so carefully, circulates from left to right, moves the ball from each flank very, very quickly and smoothly. I feel he's perfect for that. But then for me, the substitution that actually changed it all for me, and I'm I'm generally surprised that I'm gonna say it. It's Eric Garcia. I actually do think that he was very good as a stopper. He was actually improved a little bit more of Ronald Araujo on that sense, because not only is he better with the ball at his feet, but I think that when it comes to anticipating the ball and just being more of this player in the midfield, this extra body there, he plays there a little bit better. Certainly in one-on-ones, Araujo is a far better defender, but in a situation like this, Eric Garcia proved to be an important piece to the puzzle for Hansi Flick, and that helped us quite a lot in this game. So kudos to Hansi Flick, because Eric Garcia and Frank de Jong, they worked, and that's what you want for your team, right? You want different tools for different puzzles, and in this sense, this was a different problem. So we gotta use what we have in our toolbox to kind of resolve the problem at hand, right? And Alaves was one of those where previously we kind of struggled.
Yeah, I think that is the key moment in the game, the two substitutions. Give credit to De Jong because he didn't have it easy when he's come back from injury. You have to think about it. You have to think about that, and look back to the past few months where I don't think anyone would have been unhappy if he was sold in January. He does seem to be getting, without getting ahead of myself, back to like his best slowly. I think De Jong, like the last few games, he's been much better. I thought today off the bench he was really good.
Yep.
And I was going to bring this to you, Bulgar. I mean, Eric Garcia, how much better of a team at Barcelona when Eric Garcia plays instead of Araujo? And is that not a little bit of like alarm bells going off a little bit? I wanted to get your opinion on that because you weren't on the pod last time. We spoke a bit about the Araujo situation because obviously last pod was after the Benfica game.
Yep.
There's a lot going on with Araujo right now. He's renewed his contract. On paper, he's probably meant to be Barca's best centre back. Of course, it is Garcia. But I know he was on a yellow card and Flick. That's sort of a convenient excuse to be like, we'll take him off, in case they counter attack. But I throw this to you. I think if Garcia was on a yellow card in that first half, I don't think he comes off for Eric Garcia. Do you know what I mean? I think the substitution was because he wanted Eric on for Araujo, and then it was a handy excuse to say you were on a yellow card, not to sort of hurt his ego, if you like. But, I agree. It's weird to say that when you're 0-0 in a game and you want goals, that bringing on a centre-back for a centre-back is going to change it. But for me, I think it did. I think you're right, Morgan. Not only is we know he's better at bringing the ball at the back, passing. We know he has the ballon. But, everything else, the way he anticipates the ball as well, I think you're spot on. The way he gets there before the attackers, the rivals, I think is much better than Araujo. And there's a conundrum for Flick there. I wonder what he does on Thursday night against Valencia in the Cup, because Inigo Martinez is back too, who I probably still think is my starting centre-back next to Garcia after what he's shown this season. But, Eric Garcia has been very good in January. Very good. And he's certainly making a name for himself in the heart of Barca's defence. And I agree that both of them changed the game. And Eric maybe even more so.
But when I think about this, I understand your point of view. And I'm not saying it doesn't make any sense. It does make sense because, the best teams in Europe do have a proper starting 11, right? You always see Liverpool, their defense is Andrew Robertson, Van Dijk, Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know their defense by heart. But when I look at a team like Barcelona and the way that we play, I think of the different opponents, and I believe that, let's say that we play against PSG in the Champions League. It's very possible that we play against them, right? Are you really going to put Cubarsí and Garcia against Dembélé, Kvaratskhelia, and Barcola? Or are you going to put Inigo? Are you going to put Cubarsí and Inigo Martinez? You need Araujo there. I feel that you need Araujo against a Barcola, and you need Araujo against a Dembélé. You need Araujo against a Kvaratskhelia.
Think about, you remember what happened last time Araujo played?
Yeah, I know, but you do need. I feel that you need Araujo against one of those fast wingers on one-on-one. You need a player like that. I wouldn't trust Eric Garcia one-on-one against
Yeah, I know. I hear that.
any of those players. And I wouldn't trust Inigo Martinez. I wouldn't trust Eric Garcia, Inigo Martinez. I wouldn't trust any of them. I would trust Araujo. And I think that that's the sense of when you take a look at the difference of teams that you're going to be facing. Against Deportivo Alaves, yes, certainly. I think I would take off Araujo. I think you can bring on Eric Garcia. I think it makes a lot of sense. It would help you with the ball at your feet. It will help you with the attack, but it's different. I think for me, it's a clear caliber of players. There's a different caliber of players there.
Yeah.
Like, it's very clear for me.
Yeah,
it's very obvious.
yeah, I agree. I don't want to make any rash statements, obviously, after a few games and say Eric Garcia is better than Araujo, but I think Hansi Flick is realising right now that, like, I mean, it's sort of a fact that Barca look at least better with Eric Garcia than they do with Araujo. But I agree that, you know, it depends on the fixture, and let's see in future games when the big boys will obviously come to town and, you know, what he goes for. Because in the next few weeks, and we've got some big games, but in terms of like massive opponents, we haven't got that in February quite just yet. So
I was actually thinking about this because against, like you were saying, against Valencia, I was actually thinking about it because I was thinking like the reason why I think Araujo is actually not fitting so well into the squad is because maybe he has not had the playing time to get into the rhythm of the offside trap. You know, like he hasn't gotten the game time that Inigo Martinez or Eric Garcia has gotten to play in this sort of tactic. With this tactic, he has just gotten in and slotted into 4 games, I think. So I feel that's a difference, and I feel that either you switch it now and revert back to Inigo Martinez at his feet, or you stick with Araujo during this month where, like you say, the games are not the most demanding, and you can have him maybe learn to that. But yet again, I feel that Araujo's trait is not particularly maybe that. I feel that Araujo is a bit of more of a harsh defender, you know. Oh, sorry, not harsh, of a rash defender. He's more of a more instinctive defender. I don't feel he's going to be one where he tends to leave the defensive line and push further forward. He's going to be one who's certainly going to be keeping sort of a player in behind. He's not going to be a very disciplined defender. And that's where I feel that maybe we're going to get caught out. And maybe that's why Hansi Flick doesn't really has bought into him fully.
Yeah, I agree. I think those are all traits of Araujo that can be good and bad. And I think, you know, often maybe we're seeing it's been a lot of bad. Let's see when he gets a bit more rhythm, you know. I'm not like counting him out or anything. And who knows, in a few months we might say that he's like the first centre-back on the team sheet next to Garcia, obviously, who we almost don't talk about anymore because of how good he is every single game. We asked this last time as well, Bulgan. I think people would like to know your opinion on the goalkeeper situation. What's going on there?
Right, because Iñaki Peña. Look, I don't actually have not gotten too much into it. You know, like I know Iñaki Peña was good. For me, the mistakes of Chesney that people are gonna show out in the game against Benfica. You know, you have the penalty that wasn't a penalty. You know.
Yeah.
For me, that wasn't a penalty. Akutork, the Turkish guy, he just faked the penalty.
Yeah.
And then for you, who were at fault for the second goal for Benfica? Was it Chesney or was it Balde?
Chesney, I think.
For me, it was Balde, actually.
Really? No, but for me, that ball doesn't...
Look, bro, Chesney was open completely. He was looking forward.
But that ball doesn't...
He got to the ball first than Balde.
But that ball doesn't... No, Balde got the ball first and he swiped him out. No, Balde takes a touch.
Chesney got to the ball first.
I swear he didn't anyway. I need to check that.
No,
for me, I'm saying that's too far for the goalkeeper to be coming, unless he's given him a massive shout. But for me, that's still defender territory. I'm not going to lie. How, especially a goalkeeper like Chesney, who's not good off his line. He's proven that, mate. He's just got late to so many things. Is what I'm going to say. You have to think about it. The Mbappe sending off. Okay, the penalty that wasn't a penalty, but he still was late to the ball. That one there with Balde. The penalty that they ruled out for a foul on Koundé against Valencia. You know, he's only played about 5 games. I've listed about 4 there, you know, and I do like to back Hansi Flick because I think, you know, ultimately he's made a lot of good decisions this season and clearly knows more than all of us. But I I think there's something to be said for what's going on with Szczesny.
I think it's clear. It's clear that it's not something that's happened on the pitch. I can say that much.
Yeah.
I feel that it's clear that the rumors about him turning late. Apparently, he turned late not only once but like 3 times.
What, Iñaki?
Yeah, before he got dropped for the game against. He got dropped for a game, and I don't know which game.
Athletic Bilbao in the Supercopa.
In the Supercopa, he got dropped for that game.
Yeah.
He got 3 times, and that was 3 times late. So, I would think it's something along those lines. Like, and for me, that's fair enough. Like if you're trying to set an example, you cannot revert back to it. It's like unless, and maybe Iñaki Peña has not gone and said to the manager, okay, sorry, I have not, like, okay, I'm gonna try to improve it. Maybe he has not done that. I don't know, but I feel there's something along those lines. And I am someone who very much do think those little details matter. I do think about it. Because the moment you get a little bit soft about it, the whole thing changes. The whole structure changes. The moment you say that, maybe then Ansu Fati does something, and you don't have the right to be strict with him, and you lose your authority, and then everything crumbles. I think you have to be very strict with those little rules, because that's the way, I don't know, that's the way I've grown up. That's the way I see this stuff, life, everything. So I think it's not guaranteed. I think it's fine for Flick to be doing what he's doing, if that's the case. But yeah, I'm not 100% satisfied with Szczesny performances, if that's what you've been wanting me to say.
No, and also it's like, I don't know, I feel a little bit like harsh on Iñaki Peña as well, because I think he is a confidence player, and I think he'll be knocked right now. But I mean, look, we'll see what Flick's decision is. He seems adamant that Szczesny's the number one right now, but he was adamant that Iñaki Peña was the number one. A few months ago, wasn't he?
Not too long ago, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if it changes. From one end of the pitch to the other, mate, Lewandowski, 30 goals this season. That's some return, eh? That is some return.
You say 30 goals, but then I hear so many people saying, "Oh, we need to change strikers. It's the end of Lewandowski," and it's like, I hear both pieces of the argument, but for me, Flick has done such a good job of just getting the way that we defend and the pressing, that the way that everything works for Barcelona at the moment, it gets Lewandowski ready just for the quick sprints, so that he can be the cherry on top. Just so that he can be there in the right position to score the goal. Like in today's game, for example, he doesn't have to work off the ball to do anything ridiculous, like under Xavi. So he can be there and just score the goals, and I think it's working. You can see 30 goals so far. Insane,
mate. It's such a good return. I think today's goal was one of my favourites he scored this season. Do you know what I mean? That's such a Lewandowski goal, and it's such a big moment. Like, that's exactly what we needed today. That's such a massive, like, I got home and I was thinking about him. I was like, that is such a big goal from Lewandowski, and it's actually exactly what we signed him for. I also am with you that I actually hear arguments on both sides of Lewandowski. Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend him until like the cows go home, because I also see like the problems, if you like, maybe with relying on him or having him as the main striker. And he's 36, and I do watch him sometimes. I think that he's affecting the overall play.
Yeah, I agree.
But
that happens.
I mean, he's making a very good return for goals, and like, to have a player like Lewandowski in your team is actually like invaluable. Like, if you actually look at the other teams around Europe, and always such a big issue is the striker situation, like not having a player who can put the ball in the back of the net like constantly. And Barca have got that with Lewandowski. Like, the number of goals he's got, he's top scorer in La Liga again, with like a 25-year-old Kylian Mbappe playing in the league, Vinicius as well for Real Madrid. Like, he's still going, and I do have a lot of respect for that. And his goal today, like, everyone else ran backwards when that shot from Lamine came in. He was the only one who followed it all the way through and bundled it in. So I just wanted to give a bit of a shout out to Lewandowski today for that,
Yeah, I think that people tend to forget how, and this is something that happens with Haaland, and there's this whole discussion right now with the Haaland thing because of Arsenal completely demolishing Manchester City.
Have you seen it? Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is that, for instance, Haaland is a great example, because I think that we get for granted, I take for granted how, let's say, how easy or how easy he makes it seem to score goals. But the moment you take him out of it, it's like he's having a bad season, but he has got like 16 goals. That's insane. Like the day Suarez, I remember this next season after Suarez was out of Barcelona, um, our numbers dropped completely. And there's so many games that we lost because simply there was not a out and out striker, an out and out number 9 scoring those goals.
Yeah.
And we didn't see anything similar until Aubameyang came through the door. Like an out and out striker, it's literally, it can be the difference between 12 from like 3 to 12 points in the league, or even more, 20 points. So it really does matter that you're able to have a player like that. And even if Lewandowski cannot play, let's say, a full 90 minutes, having a player like that, like in a game like this, we literally just won this game because Lewandowski. I'm not sure if anyone else in this team is able to finish like that.
No.
So we cannot take for granted someone like Lewandowski's quality and the goals that he contributes to this team, because it's just insane. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah, it's invaluable. Yeah. I don't know. I've got a few other players to pick out. Feel free to chip in if you think there's anyone else to pick out. I think Lamine has gone up to almost another level the last few games. Like he looks. I thought against Atalanta he was a standout player, probably man of the match again today. Right, it's back to back.
I think what he did today was, I genuinely have not seen that since Messi, but since Messi 2018, 2019.
The little run.
I was genuinely that excited. It was I wanted to record it on my phone or show my dad. I wanted to I was really super excited after I saw that. It was really, really insane.
Yeah.
And you know what also is really good about Lamine Yamal is that he's he doesn't do anything individual. He doesn't do it only for himself. That's the difference between a Lamine Yamal and a Vinicius Jr. Lamine Yamal does all these flicks, these tricks, but it's not to benefit himself for the play. It ends up everything benefiting the overall team, the play. Everything ends on the pass to Rafinha. When he does the ruleta and takes out a player from Deportivo Alaves, it ends up in a pass inwards to Fermin. It's everything progresses nicely and benefits the team. And that's insane. That's on another level. And actually, when people compare him to Messi, I don't know about you, but he actually reminds me a lot more of Neymar when he was at Santos.
Yeah, well, that's his idol, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you about the way he is. I mean, I'm more just thinking the responsibility of that he takes on at that age. I really like that. Today, I think was another good example of a bit of a dull game, if you like, and it's sort of every time he gets the ball, he beats someone, or he takes a few players out the game and wins a corner, takes a few players out the game and wins a throw in or something, or gets someone into a good area to take a shot off. And if you actually look at a lot of our drop points in the league, they have come when Lamine hasn't been available. Leganés, he wasn't available, right? Real Sociedad, he wasn't available. Las Palmas, he only came on at half time. I think there's more. Atletico Madrid wasn't available. So, that's an awful lot of games that Barca dropped points in where Lamine Yamal wasn't available. Celta Vigo, was he available? I feel like he wasn't. The 2-2 draw either.
Yeah.
I mean, that's almost all of them that I've just gone over there. He was there for Getafe and he was there for Betis, and those are those 2 draws. Other than that, he wasn't there. So that is how important he is to this team. And I just think games of today, he's the guy. He takes the responsibility, and I love that from him. And someone who's next to him as well in terms of, or even above him maybe in terms of how good he is Pedri. Oh, I know we rate him as one of the best midfielders in the world, but he keeps on getting better and better for me. And he is a standout player in midfield every single game, and you'll struggle to find a better midfielder in Europe, in my opinion. Who is up there with Pedri really right now? I'm not sure there's anyone. He's so good. He really is so good to watch, Pedri, and he's a proper Barcelona player too.
For me, this week has been one of the best weeks because the constant renewals of all these players just tells you, man, we're secured for the future. And touch wood, I think that the fitness levels that they've been showing is very, it's very healthy. It's very good. It's very reassuring to know that we are able to count on these players. You know, like having
Yeah.
Pedri constantly fit and being able to play these games week in and week out is such a massive improvement and such a massive boost. And I'm pretty sure that all the managers behind, like Xavi last season, oh my god, he would have been so happy to have someone like Pedri in,
Yeah.
week in and week out. Everyone will be so excited to have someone to count someone like Pedri week in and week out. I
Yeah,
feel
of
that
course, yeah.
this team is really benefiting. And another player that I feel we need to mention quickly is I feel that Alejandro Valde has improved his performances from the start of
Massively.
the season. He has been a player that we in this podcast have been pointed out that he has not been having a good start of the year, but he has turned it around. I feel that he has been much better when it comes to his decision making. I think his recovery defensively has been way better. I feel that he has been showing that he can certainly be a much better player when he has a lot of confidence behind him. And I feel that he did suffer a little bit of injuries at the start of the year, but now with the campaign rolling onwards, that confidence has grown and has grown. He continues to deliver. I feel that he's a great left back, and I feel that if we're able to just keep a constant center back pairing next to Koundé and Balde, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a proper defensive line. That we need to go back to the back line. Remember the back?
Yeah,
Balde,
of course I
Araujo,
do.
Christensen, and Koundé. If we're able to achieve something like that very similarly, I'm pretty sure we're gonna be settled. I'm pretty happy if we're able to get something close to that level.
Yeah. I haven't got much more else on Alaves, but obviously now that this weekend of La Liga is over, Bulgar, next weekend, it's the Madrid Derby between Atleti and Real Madrid.
Yep.
2, we're now 4 points behind Real, 3 behind Atleti. I mean, there's a lot of work to do, but like, how much better is that? Like, genuinely, how much better is that? It's properly season on, and I never wanted to throw in the towel this season because I don't and didn't feel as if we were inferior to Atleti or Real Madrid, like I have in
if
recent
you were
seasons.
as close as throwing in the towel as possible. You were mystic.
I get a bit pessimistic. I get a bit negative.
Yeah.
But no. I did say though. I said I feel like we can't let go of the league this season. And by the way, boy, you're saying it as if we're back here. We've still got a long way to go, eh?
Yeah. Bro, I just checking. Lamine Yamal has 10 assists in La Liga. What?
Does that count as an assist today?
I think so, because I did not remember he having 10 assists before this match day.
Maybe he did, eh? He might have done,
10 assists. Incredible. Okay.
Anyway, yeah, title race wise, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Because Real Madrid have also got 2 extra games. I know it's against Man City, which I'm sure will be I'm sure they'll win and progress, obviously, with the state City are into. But they've still got 2 extra games against a team that at least will at least be a watchable sort of game in some regard, right? Even though it could end up being a big confidence boost for them, which maybe isn't a good thing, but yeah.
No. I feel that the game against Manchester City actually will be a little bit more difficult than people anticipate, because when you take a look at the defense that Real Madrid are going to play, they're going to be playing Fran Garcia, Alaba, Tchouaméni, and Lucas Vázquez defense.
Yeah.
Come on.
I almost feel the opposite. I think people are seeing Man City, Real Madrid, and are thinking it's going to be a cracker. I don't think it's going to be much of a cracker. I think Man City are in an absolute state right now, by the way, mate.
I feel so the same, but I feel that could actually sort of be good for them. If you don't know,
I think Real are going to have so much fun against the way City
they're
play.
Destroy them.
You have to think about the way City play. Only Chelsea wouldn't exploit it.
Today in the transitions,
it's disgusting.
Like Kai Havertz tore them apart.
Exactly, and like that front 3 with Bellingham running from deep as well. It's the midfield for City. I mean, plus the defense, obviously, but they actually don't have a midfield.
No, they don't. They play Bernardo Silva and Kovacic.
But Bernardo goes off, obviously. Kovacic on his own.
It's whatever.
Hell.
It's gonna be a tough watch, but it's 2 extra games. It's gonna be a tough watch, but it's 2 extra games against a top tier team, regardless.
Yeah,
and they're gonna make you run. So that's still.
And it's 2 games that Real have to play their Gala 11 for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, regardless, you're gonna play Arda Güler, who does not even get a game. But if we take a look at the table, like when I take a look at this, what do you want for the Madrid Derby? Because that's coming up next. So first of all, when I look at the Madrid Derby and I feel what do I want? I feel that a draw, obviously. Do you want a draw or do you put your bets on
I'd
Atletico Madrid
rather,
getting the win?
yeah, I'd rather Atleti win 100%.
Really?
But I feel that that's way too much to ask for, so I'm just praying for a draw. I think it's either a Real Madrid win or a draw. I don't think Atleti have a chance of winning, but I would like them to win.
Draw.
I want Atleti to win.
The first leg, Atleti won, right? No, it was
No,
a
it was
draw.
1-0. It was 1-0.
Yeah, it was 1-0. I remember, yeah. So, but if Atleti, I mean, if they draw and if Atleti win, it's not pretty much of a difference.
But if Atleti win and we win, we are then 3 points behind Atleti that we were before, and 1 point behind Real Madrid. Now, for me, that is ideal.
Yeah, for you that's better.
Yeah, it is than being what? If they draw, we remain what? 4 and 3, right?
Yeah.
No, sorry. I've got that completely wrong. If they draw, we'd be doing the maths in my head. Would be 1 behind Atleti, right? Yeah, and 2 behind Real Madrid.
Yeah, but when I look at this, I'm also thinking that the next game for us is also pretty hard because we're taking a look at Sevilla away from home at the Sanchez Pizjuan, and Sevilla have not lost a game in 4.
In what? In 4 games?
In 4 games, they haven't lost. So
yeah, they are improving for sure, but
yeah. So I'm looking at them and I'm like, I'm thinking that will be a struggle of a game as well. Do you remember? The games of old at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan? Those games were the games. When you had to bring really Messi as a substitute.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that cracker. Yeah, no, a lot of good memories. Yeah, from playing Sevilla at the Sanchez Pizjuan. Actually, mate, the good old days when I used to really love football. Yeah,
the good old days of Koundé scoring individual goals.
I'm even thinking before those. I'm thinking like the Valverde days, mate, where we were just like Sevilla used to hammer us, and then obviously we had Messi, so it was like that was that.
Oh. Yeah, remember was it the goal from Pedro in the extra time in the Supercopa?
Yeah, of course, yeah. The 5-4, yeah.
Yeah, but so yeah, I still have that Sevilla in my head, So I still pay them a lot of respect. Yeah. So I still feel that we need to do our job against them. And seeing how much we struggle against Alaves, maybe we will struggle against them. I'm not pretty sure. But let's wait and see. I still feel that La Liga is possible because we still have to play against them, against Atletico Madrid, and we still have to play against Real Madrid. So I feel that the La Liga is definitely still on. It depends on those results. It depends on tomorrow what happens. The worst that can happen is a Real Madrid win. That's the worst that can happen.
I agree. I do agree.
Where is the game? Is at the
Wanda? It's at the Bernabeu.
Ooh, okay. I think La Liga is over. Really? Was it really? Is it?
It was at the Wanda before, mate, or whatever the Civitas or whatever it's called now.
Oh my god!
The old Metropolitano, mate.
Oh my god! Where's the good old days of Godin, Jimenez, Miranda?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Now they have freaking Axel Witsel and Reinildo. What the hell?
And Longley.
Your
favorite, mate.
They are their best, dude. It's also your favorite.
He was my favorite, yeah.
Yeah. So the viewers know I had a third kit Barcelona shirt. The green one where we had the little, what do you call it? The color shirt.
It's the Anfield kit, mate.
The Anfield kit. I had. No, it was not the Anfield kit. The Anfield kit is a neon green.
What are you talking about then?
The Anfield kit is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Sorry, which one are you talking about?
I'm talking the Lenglet third kit.
Oh, the pink one.
It's not the Anfield kit.
It depends which season you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the third kit with the color that was green like aqua. That's not the kit that Barcelona wear at Anfield.
I'm trying to, but what kit are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. The green with the color. The one we were at Anfield was yellow and was neon, like a highlighter.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the green kit with the collar that from Longley though.
Oh my god. Third kit, Barcelona kit color. I don't know. They go where the season that Ansu Fati scored his first goal.
Yep.
You remember now?
The yellow kit then.
No, the green one with the collar, with a Rakuten and Nike.
God, have I completely forgotten this one? I want to search
Oh my
it up.
god, I'm gonna send it to you in the chat. You fucking retard. I send it to you in the chat.
How do I get any tab? I can't see. My webcam's in the way. It's in the chat. Yeah, right.
Yeah. Open your phone.
Mate, that's not really green.
That's green, bro. That's green aqua.
Blue. Yeah, I do remember this one. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Ansu Fati scored with that shirt.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that is quite a nice kit.
I got
quite
that
a nice
kit
kit
with Lenglet, and Pablo has, for whatever reason, like you had like a print.
I did indeed have
art.
I had a print of Longley. Yeah.
Lenglet was the GOAT.
Class,
he was supposed to be the Lewandowski.
He's actually he's actually having a good season for Atleti, you know.
Yeah, he's having undeniably a very good season for Atletico Madrid.
He really is.
Friend of the pod. Lenglet, friend of the pod. I would love to interview Clement Lenglet, honestly. That would be a fun interview, don't you think?
Why? That's such a random one.
What would you ask him? You have one question to ask Clement Lenglet. What would you ask him?
What a bizarre question.
Think about it.
Mate, I don't know. What did he think of Valverde as a coach?
Ooh, I would ask him why did you suck so much after your second season?
Yeah, but you just give a generic response like that, you know? Actually, you pretty well with the Valverde question as well, but
yeah. Anyhow.
Oh dear, little booger. We've strayed off a little bit here, mate.
That's why we are not reporters. We need to improve our reporting game.
What are you on about, mate?
We need to ask better questions to get the best out of Lenglet.
Valencia on Thursday night, mate. I think to wrap up.
Paulo just went go.
I've cut you off your long lay train, mate. I've had enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Valencia.
Obviously we got before next pod we got Sevilla 2 in the league, but obviously with Valencia being the next game up, you know, like I think this is going to be a real fucking scrap, you know.
You think the Valencia game,
mate, at Mestalla Thursday night in the cup quarterfinals? I think they're gonna wreak havoc.
I think they want payback from the 7-1. I think that's a guaranteed. I think that's a guaranteed. I think they're gonna go all out. I think they don't care about red cards. I think they're gonna go all out. I think they are gonna try to destroy us and maybe get a few injuries along the way. By what's the saying? By hook or by crook?
Yeah, by hook or by crook, man. That's a favorite.
They're gonna try and win this game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're gonna try. But I do think they're gonna try to. I feel that if we rotate very similarly to how we did against them, we should be okay though. I feel that Casado is a must in a game like this. I do think that we need a player like Casado because his recovery, his stamina will be just. We need somebody to be able to match the pace of the players that Valencia are going to be putting out behind. I think Javi Guerra is a very good player that they have. Pepelu as well. I think there's going to be Casado winning him in their midfield. I think Frenkie de Jong as well. I would actually play a very similar 11 like the one we play against Valencia on the 7-1.
Would you Casado, Frenkie de Jong, and Pedri? And Pedri or no? Or Fermin?
I would actually play Fermin and maybe, forgive a little bit of the control. And just go,
Pedri, you know,
and just go back and forth, you know.
Yeah, I just worry about benching Pedri in such a big game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I feel that actually the control. If we have more control, if we have less control, I feel that Valencia will try to. It's weird saying this, but I think less control could be better because we just need to be a little bit more vertical. I think the vertigo will be too much for Valencia. I don't think they can defend that.
Yeah, it's going to be a different game. Yeah, it's going to be a different game to the one at Montjuic. Obviously, it'll feel like a smaller pitch. I think he's going to go pretty full strength. I'll tell you what I'm intrigued about the goalkeeper, who he starts in goal in the cup now. Like, does that come into contention, or is it purely Chesney's the number one for everything? I am intrigued who starts in goal.
That's a good, because it will be a very big signal then if Iñaki Peña. Imagine if Iñaki Peña starts.
I think he might start Iñaki Peña, eh?
If he starts Iñaki Peña, that's like, oof.
Yeah, that's like you're the sub goalkeeper.
But that's a massive blow. Like, that could very easily, like, even impact the performance of Iñaki Peña negatively. You know?
Yeah, of course. But I don't know. I almost want him to start Iñaki Peña there because I want to win the cup, and I'm down for Iñaki Peña to be the cup goalkeeper if it means we win the cup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty open for anybody, often, any of both of them.
Okay.
Any of them both. Imagine if he starts Diego Cochin.
I think he might be injured actually.
You know which game I'm actually looking forward to very, very much.
Go on.
I'm looking very much forward to Atletico Madrid versus Getafe. That's gonna be the most boring game. I want to see.
I can tell you the score right now. It's 1-0 to Atleti.
I want to see how boring can the game be. I actually want to see that.
Durísimo.
I want to see how much possession, how low can Getafe's possession get. That's gonna be my.
They'll probably have about 19% now.
19, maybe lower, 15, give or take.
No, they had 18 against that. They had 18 against that fourth tier side.
Yeah. Okay, so do we need to talk about anything else or no?
I think we've covered it most. To be fair, there, Bulgar.
Yeah. What do you think about the UCL draw for Barcelona? Did you see?
For Barca or like the knockout
In
rounds
general,
altogether?
not the knockout rounds, but the side of the table. You know, because even though
is that true? By the way,
yeah. So if Barcelona win, like Barcelona will face either Benfica, Monaco, Brest, or PSG.
I know
that's
that. Okay.
a given.
Yeah.
That's good. You know.
Yeah.
That's good on paper. Like, we could have faced harder teams.
I think watch out for PSG.
Of course. PSG are getting better. I think with the introduction of Kvaratskhelia, I think Dembele, I don't know where he's looking like the player we signed 7 years ago.
Yeah.
he arrived a little bit too late. But he's there. And then we play either, let me actually pull it up. We played, I feel, Aston Villa.
I'm just confused at what I'm really confused.
Okay,
at
here
what
I got
side
it. Here I got it.
Okay.
So if Barcelona then beat, let's say, PSG, imagine.
But doesn't it depend who we get drawn against as to what side of the draw we get put on?
I mean, yes, but we can still see like either the two.
Okay, fine.
The all opponents, you know.
Okay,
so even though we may draw against PSG, like we will still be able to face until the semifinals, like until the quarterfinals, we can face after beating PSG, Brest, Monaco, or Benfica, either Club Brugge, Atalanta, Sporting, Dortmund, Lille, or Aston Villa. Like that's.
You actually make a really good point here, mate. Basically, looking at this and PSG included.
Yeah. So the hardest team in our side.
We should be making the semi-finals. I agree.
We should be making the semi-finals.
I completely agree.
On paper.
And then my question is, Bulgar, once you get through the quarters, does it then go random again?
No. It continues. So then you face one of Man City, Real Madrid, Juventus, PSV, Arsenal, Inter, Atletico Madrid, Leverkusen. So that side is pure chaos, you know?
Ah. Yeah.
So Barcelona Barcelona to get a spot in the semi-finals, Barcelona has to beat two of Paris, Brest, Monaco, Benfica, Club Brugge, Atalanta, Lille, Aston Villa, Sporting, or Dortmund. That's not bad.
No, it isn't.
That's not bad.
No, it isn't. I think actually, if we went out to any of those teams, PSG included, I think people would be upset, very upset.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that, like, if we actually get Monaco or Benfica, we should be making the semifinals.
Brest as well, no?
No, yeah, but Brest faces PSG.
Yeah, okay, so Brest are out, you mean? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
hear you, yeah.
if Barcelona get Monaco or Benfica, because the
Yeah.
winner of those two, if we face one of them two against Barca, then we should be getting semifinals because then it means
I think we know who we're going to be drawn against, though. No.
we're gonna be drawn against PSG. That's a
Yeah,
guarantee.
I know. Let's get out of the way. But I agree. Okay, say we get drawn against PSG in the round of 16, fine, tough game, but we need to win that. Then I agree. If you're playing one of those 6 in the quarterfinals,
Who's the least you prefer to face?
okay, the least I prefer to face is Aston Villa.
Really?
Which sounds stupid, but Aston Villa away, I can just imagine it being an absolute nightmare.
The least I prefer to play out of all of them is Atalanta.
Really? Yeah, they were good against us, but I think if we're serious, we just batter them.
I think we were serious last game and we drew 2-2.
Really?
Yeah.
Mate, I have a bit of PTSD, I think, from big English crowds for Barca.
I mean, Aston Villa would be fun.
It wouldn't be fun.
No?
Not for me, no.
No. I mean, look at their team, bro. They're getting Rashford and Asensio. They got no defenders, bro.
That is
They got no center backs. They got no.
Yeah, they're not even doing very well in the Premier League.
No.
Mate. They're really not doing that well. I just think on a European night,
I mean, I take a look at. Yeah, you're right. I take a look at the game they play against Bayern, and that was a cold run.
Do you know what I mean? That's the sort of game the sort of game I'm envisioning against Barca. That's the sort of Aston Villa that will turn up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't really want that. But you have to think about it. There's a good chance they get knocked out before that Aston Villa, right? There's a good chance they lose to one of these.
Who?
Any of them? No, probably not Club Brugge, but Dortmund or Atalanta could knock Aston Villa out now. I'd probably back Aston Villa against Dortmund.
I don't know, but I think Aston Villa. We should be beating Aston Villa.
No, 100%. If we can't beat Aston Villa, then I'm going home.
Yeah, but Barcelona should be making the semifinals. Like, did you just realize that we?
Yeah, no. It's just I'm looking at the graphics, and one thing, the graphics are doing my head in. Like, I've lost my mind reading the graphics. Number one, but two, I'm just like confused because obviously it all depends as to what side you get on.
No, it's the same. It's like
I get that, but like it also sort of like isn't.
I mean, the only way that we face Liverpool is in the final, so that's okay.
I know that. Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, Ball Guy, is we do all of this crap on this side of the draw, and then you're saying for the semis, does the tree continue?
Yeah, it continues. So in the semifinals,
okay. So you're telling me once the round of 16 draw gets made, we'll also know the semi-final potential opponents because we'll know what side of the draw we're on.
Yeah.
Because right now we don't know what side of the draw we're on.
I mean, I don't know that, but we know that it will be between one of those teams. That's what I'm saying. So we'll know that it's a hard team, but we know that our quarterfinal opponents will be between one of those regular teams.
Yeah.
It's not like suddenly Leverkusen will be our quarterfinal opponents. That cannot happen. Our quarterfinal opponents will be between Aston Villa, Lille, Dortmund, Sporting, Atalanta, and Club Brugge.
And we have to win the semis first, mate. Yeah. Run of round of 16 first, sorry.
Bro, like, if please, let's not get PSG. Like, come on.
Yeah, I know.
I know, like.
Anyway,
come on, please.
Thought for another day, Ignacio.
Yeah, I know. Who do you think is the favorite to win from looking at this?
Real Madrid.
There always are.
Either Real Madrid or Liverpool.
Yeah.
But I think if Real Madrid play Liverpool, I think Liverpool are a much better team than Real Madrid this season, eh? But I just...
You would say that.
I always back Real Madrid in the Champions League, though.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Who doesn't?
I mean...
Mate, honestly, I'm actually looking around here. Arsenal, Inter, nope. Atleti, Leverkusen, nope. Bayern, Man City, nope. Mate, we have to put ourselves up there, for this Champions League. Like, I'm not backing down from it. I think Liverpool and Real Madrid are the favourites because of their pedigree. Liverpool because of how good they've been this season, maybe the best team in Europe. What they're doing in the Premier League, they got to go up there for me. And Real Madrid just because we know what they're like as well, and they automatically got up there. We know Man City are having a terrible season. Arsenal are a good team, in my opinion. Same with Inter, but I can't imagine them winning a Champions League right now. Atleti, poor guys. I wouldn't like to play them. I want to say that, but I just don't think they're going to win the Champions League either. Leverkusen, they're not going to win it. And then it comes down to us, mate.
Yeah, there's some potential very interesting games that could happen. Like Real Madrid, Atletico could face each other in the round of 16.
Do you find that interesting? A Real win?
No, I actually do think Atletico Madrid may be one of the only teams that can knock out Real Madrid.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they never do, but
No, exactly. Case in point.
I mean, the only teams that knock out Real Madrid are really small teams or ones that play amazing football.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
When we had proper English clubs in the Champions League, they could actually challenge them, mate. And don't have proper clubs in there anymore.
No. Well, that's it. I think we need to get to the semifinals. That's the objective.
Yeah, that's decided. The lads have decided it.
Yeah.
Right then, Borga, you got anything else, mate? Or do you want to wrap us up here?
I think that's perfect, actually, with finishing with the UCL draw.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, actually, let's just one more thing. So, who do you want from Brest, PSG, Monaco, and Benfica?
Brest.
Yeah.
On and off the pitch.
I actually don't want Brest. I want it to be a little more exciting. I want Monaco.
Yeah.
I want Monaco to
Mate, Monaco have been good this season, eh?
Yeah, but I want I want a little of excitement, to be excited for the game,
PSG then, mate, you can get excited for that one all you like.
No, because I know that we can lose that and I don't want
Okay.
Okay.
Well then, mate.
That's going to be it. Remember, guys, to subscribe, rate this podcast, give it 5 stars on Spotify or wherever you listen to. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao. Bye.